Hi. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Kitchen Revelations. So, today, as promised, I've come up with the cake recipe on how to bake it in an IFB oven. I would like to clarify that this is not a paid promotion, and I just wanted to share my views on my reviews on the brand of oven that I'm using. And initially, when I purchased this oven, I felt that there was some problem with the oven because the cake used to come out raw, half baked. But after using this trick, it started to come out perfectly. So I thought of sharing it with my subscribers. So without wasting much time, let's quickly get on to the recipe. To start with, let's first align the cake tin. I've already cut the parchment papers according to the size of the cake tin and kept it ready. So using a brush, I'm going to just grease the tin with some oil. Now why I'm asking you to do this first, because once a batter is ready, you should not leave batter for a long period of time outside because it will affect the texture of the cake. So in order to avoid wastage of time and to get things done faster, prepare the cake tin and then go on for preparing the batter. So I finished greasing the cake tin with oil. Now I'm going to place the parchment paper inside this cake tin. If you do not have parchment paper, instead of placing the paper, you can dust in some maida or all-purpose flour and keep the cake tin aside. This is my mom's recipe and it is a foolproof method for a basic sponge cake. Please watch till the end for useful tips and tricks. So our cake tin is ready. Now let's move on to preparing the batter. This is just to show you all the ingredients required for making the cake batter have been measured using this kitchen scale. Link for it has been given in the description box below. So I've measured here 100 grams of maida, 100 grams of sugar, 1 egg and 1 Amul unsalted butter. Next I'm going to take a mixing bowl. On top of it I'm going to place a sifter or a strainer. Let's first get ready with the dry ingredients and keep them aside. So here I am going to add the 100 grams of all-purpose flour or maida onto the strainer. Next I am going to add 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder. It is teaspoon and not tablespoon. Next I am going to add a pinch of salt. Now strain all the ingredients. This step is done to ensure that baking powder reaches to all the parts of maida or all-purpose flour. So we have finished sifting the flour. Gently mix this with a spoon and keep it aside. Now let's prepare the wet ingredients. For that I have taken a mixer grinder jar. Now into this jar I am going to break open an egg which I have already brought to room temperature. Please do not use eggs directly from the fridge because it will result in a hard cake. Now blend this egg at least for 1 minute or until it turns white and frothy. Next into this I am going to add the powdered sugar. It is 100 grams of sugar which I have measured and then powdered. I'll be adding it in 2 batches while blending in the mixer jar. So I finished blending sugar along with egg. Next I'm going to take the butter. This is unsalted butter and it has been brought to room temperature. Please note that butter, egg and all other ingredients, even milk, everything should be at room temperature. Otherwise your cake will not be soft and spongy. Okay, so I'm going to add this as well in 2 batches because I don't want to overload the mixer grinder jar. Since butter is already at room temperature, you do not need to blend it for a longer period of time. Just give 2 to 3 pulses in 2 batches. So finally our wet ingredients are also ready. Now it's time to mix them. Now in the olden days when there was no whisk or hand mixer, people used to mix the cake batter or any other batter using their hands. So here also, as per my mom's recipe, I'm going to use my hands to mix the batter. So before mixing, keep few things ready: a mixing bowl, a glass of milk, the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. Into the mixing bowl, I'm going to add the wet ingredients first. You might wonder that I could have added the wet ingredients directly into the dry ingredients, but this works wonders. You have to add dry ingredients, that is a flour and baking powder mixture, in batches and mix well using your hands. So here I'm going to add the first 2 to 3 scoops and mix gently with my hands. If you're new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon next to it for regular updates. Click on the all option so that you get updates as and when I post. Also, if possible, please do share this video among your friends and ask them to subscribe. In this way, you can help me grow my channel. So I've already added 2 batches of the dry ingredients into this wet mix. I'm using my hands and I'm using it in a circular motion to mix the flour. Now I'm going to add a little bit of milk to this mixture because I feel the batter is little tight. The milk has been boiled and cooled and it is at room temperature. So finally I'm going to add the remaining dry ingredients into the batter. Mix and see if it requires more milk. The batter is really dry, so I'm going to add little more milk into this mixture. Now finally I'm going to add the essences. I'm going to add half teaspoon of pineapple essence and half teaspoon of vanilla essence. You can add the essences of your choice. Now mix this really well again with your hands. Now after the final mixing, your batter should look like this. It should be like a single thick ribbon flowing like consistency. You need to keep on adding milk until you reach this consistency. Please note it should not be too thin as well because it will result in a chewy cake. So now let's move on to the oven part. Switch on the oven and place the pizza plate or the pizza tray that you get along with the oven kit. This was a trick that I had mentioned earlier. I will explain in detail how it works. Please watch till the end so that you do not miss out on any of the minute details or points that have to be noted. So now click on the preheat and convection option which I've shown here. Select the degree, that is I am selecting 160 degrees Celsius for a small cake. Click on the start button. So now the oven is getting preheated along with the pizza tray. Initially when I had baked the cake, I had placed the cake tin directly on the turntable and what happened is the top portion burnt quickly and the bottom side was left raw or uncooked. Okay, so our preheating is over. The oven has stopped on itself and given 3 beeps asking us to keep the cake tin inside. So let's transfer the cake batter into the cake tin. Using a spatula, gently level up the cake. So now as I mentioned earlier, if you're baking the cake by placing the cake tin on the pizza table, it gets baked evenly. That is because the pizza plate also becomes hot and it gets cooked from the top portion also. So in that way you can avoid the mistake or the error of raw cooked or unevenly cooked cake. So now we have placed the cake tin on the pizza table. Now let's select the preheat convection option again. Now I'm going to reduce the temperature to 150 degrees Celsius. Select 30 to 40 minutes and then give the start option. Please note that you need to preheat at a higher temperature and bake at a lower temperature depending on the size of your cake. So after 24 minutes, let's check how the cake has turned out. After pricking with a toothpick, I feel that the cake is almost 90 to 95% done. Still 5% is left, so let's keep the cake for more 5 to 6 minutes. So after 5 minutes, the cake has baked perfectly. You can see that it has cooked, it has really risen well and it is really soft. Now if your cake tin is really big, it will require more time and the temperature setting might also vary. Because in most of the ovens, the heating takes place at 180 degrees Celsius. But for IFB brand, the heating takes place at a faster rate. So you need to bake at 152 or 160 degrees Celsius. Also, I had uploaded this video earlier by just giving the title of sponge cake, but I have uploaded it again along with the IFB brand option because I wanted to show to my subscribers and also to those who are using IFB brand oven the exact measurements, the temperature setting and how it works and how it bakes in an IFB oven. I know the video is a bit lengthy, but I wanted to explain in detail because I faced a lot of problems. Almost 5 cakes went down the drain. So I hope you all liked this video and please to follow the exact measurements so that you get a soft and fluffy cake. I had allowed the cake to cool down for at least 1 hour. Now let's check how the cake has turned out. The cake has come out on its own from the parchment paper. You can see the cake tin. The parchment paper is inside and the cake is really smooth and clean from the bottom side. Another way to check is when you press the cake with your fingers, it should bounce back. That means your cake is a success. You can also bake this cake in a pressure cooker by removing the gasket and the whistle, but it will take at least 40 to 50 minutes. So you can see that the cake is really soft and spongy. I bet that you are going to love this cake a lot. If you liked this video, please do not forget to share, subscribe. Also do share your feedback in the comment section below. Thank you for watching Kitchen Revelations.